You know, A-Basin has a very colorful history, and a guy named Larry Jump, who was a 10th Mountain Division veteran, joined another guy named Sandy Scheffler, and they did a tour of Colorado for the Denver Chamber of Commerce, looking for sites to build a ski area, and they found A-Basin. Larry was the first president of the company, and he really got things rolling. The mountain itself looked very much the same, and they had really grandiose plans. Larry had actually been a ski bum in Europe in the late 30s and got swept up into the war and was actually captured by the Germans before the Americans were even involved in the war. But he knew all about skiing, and he had these grand visions for Arapahoe Basin. And he kicked it off in December of '46 with just a rope tow, but by the next year they had a couple of single chairlifts. I think there's been kind of three lifespans of Arapahoe, or three distinct eras maybe is a better way to say that. But you know, Larry had the place until the 70s, and he kept it going along. And Larry also was the president of the original Palma of America company, so there were Palma lifts all over the place. And then in the late 70s, Ralston Purina bought the place, and they kind of did a start over and put the lifts in much like we see them now, and Ralston owned the place until '97, and the current owner, Dundee Resort Development, has been managing it since then. What the real heart and soul of Arapahoe is the skiing and riding, and the culture and the way people feel when they're here. So more than anything, we're going to preserve that really special feeling people have. So that's our number one priority. That said, we're going to keep doing things to try and improve the skiing every step we can. We just have a new master development plan process we're working on, and we're going to try and add some skiing out in the beavers to the west of us. We're going to keep trying to make the buildings and the lodges work better. But really, more than anything, we're going to keep the skiing and the riding pure. There is nothing like A-Basin anywhere. There's a lot of great ski areas and resorts around the world, but there's nothing like Arapahoe Basin. The beach is, you know, it started out as kind of just a tailgating scene, and it's, you know, it just gets more creative, more fun all the time, and people come and they have these big parties down there, and sometimes they bring bands and hot tubs and all kinds of other stuff, but it's just a cool place to hang out. What used to be a secret and is not so much of a secret anymore, this is a great place for people to learn how to ski, and you see so many locals here with their kids. We're still small enough that everybody funnels right back to the base area. It's easy to stay together. It's easy to get together later. And, you know, it's really a great place.
My name's Lisa, and I'm the owner of La Francaise Bakery. La Francaise Bakery is an authentic French bakery, and we're committed to handcrafting all of our items on premises. So we have a French chef, and all of our recipes are traditional French recipes, and we handcraft and bake everything on premises every day.
You need good flour, good sugar. When you have a good recipe and you have all the good ingredients, you do the good process, you cannot go wrong. I like mine, simple, you know. I don't try to be too fancy. I just want people to see that they are good fruits, you know.
So our crepes are the French batter, and our bread is baked fresh every day, and our sandwiches are made on our fresh baked baguettes. We also make cakes and custom cakes and cookies and croissants and chocolate croissants and almond croissants. We want you to really take that trip to France when you come to our bakery. So we greet you and treat you really well, and we can make customizations to our menu if you need that. We use the best quality coffee we can find, and I know that a lot of people come back time and time again and say we have the best coffee, and they even buy the coffee beans because it's so hard to find. but we handcraft espresso drinks, both cold and hot. And we have our homemade chantilly, which is French whipped cream, and we have 6 different flavors that we put on top of the coffee drinks. We know that this is an active town, so we have some things that you can grab and go, and we also have ways that you can just sit and linger and have a cup of coffee. We have a back patio right on the Blue River that overlooks the ski resort in Breck, and it is the most relaxing, sunny spot in Breck. What some people don't realize is some of the products that we have take actually 3 days to make, like croissants. Is not something that we start in the morning and finish that day. We actually have to prepare the dough. It needs to rest, it needs to rise, it needs to be rolled. So that I think that really, again, is a testament to our commitment to the traditional French quality and recipe.
With a business like this, for sure, like I will not be able to say I don't have time to make something good. It's not possible. I really like my job, for sure. I don't picture myself doing anything else, actually. This is what I like. It fits me. It fits my life. I want them to think they had the best pastry they ever had. That's my goal.
Ideally, I'd love for people to come in and taste our croissants, have a sandwich, have a cup of coffee, and really feel transported to Europe, France. And I believe we achieved that. We're at 411 South Main Street in Breckenridge, lower level of Four Seasons Plaza.
We chose Breckenridge because of the impeccable snowmelt water up here. The reservoirs are just full of this beautiful mineral-rich water that adds incredible mouthfeel. It's a perfect fermenting medium. It's just a really outstanding and pristine water source, and you can't make good hooch without great water. Well, we started out to make malt whiskey, and we all love malt whiskey. We did start making that in the beginning, and fortunately malt whiskey takes a number of years to age up, and we got a little tired of standing around looking at our whiskey and barrel and not getting to drink any of it. So very traditional American whiskey style of bourbon ages much faster, and so we thought we'd make a little bit of that, see how it turns out. And lo and behold, it turned out very well, and everybody loved it, and now about 80% of our production is dedicated to the bourbon, and I'm afraid the single malt's just going to have to wait. We start with sweet yellow corn that comes out of the Midwest, and unmalted rye and a small amount of modified barley. These 3 grains are added to a kettle and cooked at a high temperature until they break down and the starches are available. The barley then acts upon them with an enzyme which converts those starches into sugars. We then add a selected yeast strain, and the yeast converts those sugars into ethanol, into alcohol, which takes about 4 to 5 days for this process to finish up, and then goes into our 600-gallon Vendome pot still and gets distilled twice. And after the second distillation, we yield a product that's quite tasty and about 140 proof. We dilute that back with some good old unfiltered Breckenridge water, and we put them into barrels at 115 proof. Every year we've taken a number of medals for the bourbon and the vodka both. We finally started getting some recognition for some of our newer products, the spiced rum and the bittersweet liqueur, which is our Breckenridge bitters. We've finally expanded the production room. We've doubled capacity on our fermenters and our kettle and cooking capabilities. So we're making twice as much as we were last year. Well, we bottle, we still bottle, we always have since we opened, with volunteers, local, and increasingly we're getting them from further and further away. We've had people come from Denver for a long time, but we've actually had people sign up and plan trips to come here and do bottling parties. We start around 6 o'clock and we can bottle about 2,500 bottles in an evening. The website has pretty much all the information about what we're doing lately, any events coming up, www.breckenridgedistillery.com.